Howdy. Okay, so welcome to my Decentralized Life channel. This is the very first episode, so please bear with me. I'm completely new to this, but I'm deciding to create this because there are a ton of my friends and family who are interested in the whole decentralized space, whether it be Bitcoin or Ethereum or just decentralizing life, and that's what I thought. I didn't want it to be specific to just one type of token or one type of concept, but I thought, well, you know what? We actually want to decentralize life. So that's what this channel is going to be about. But we'll talk about that in a future video. But as of right now, what seems to be hot right now. So I thought what I'm going to do is, as my friends are asking me questions, I'm going to create a video about it, or as ideas pop into my head, I'm going to create a video about it, and we can discuss it further. So the very latest question is the Bitcoin ETF that is about to be approved. It hasn't been approved just yet, or at least not as of the recording of this video. But there is a Bitcoin ETF which is potentially being approved, and the question is, should you go ahead and buy it? Now, I am no financial advisor, so definitely go ahead and do your own research. And by no means is what I'm about to say a financial advice for you to go ahead and take. And if you're going to make profit with it, great. If you're not going to make profit with it, that's not my responsibility. So this is all up to you. Take my opinion and run with it. Formulate your own opinions, and that's the best way forward. So in terms of the Bitcoin ETF, this is my opinion. So if we were to analyze the Bitcoin ETF as it is, so it is a cash settled Bitcoin ETF. Therefore, there is no Bitcoin being involved at all, or at least not initially. And also from what I understand, it is a futures ETF, which means it's predicting, people are placing bets against what they predict the price will be in the future, and that's how it's being the price is being adjusted. So the question is, should you rather buy a Bitcoin, physical Bitcoin? And I know that Bitcoin is not physical. I'm talking about actually purchasing it from an exchange so that it's a record within the blockchain. I'm talking about physical in that sense. And as an individual, my answer would be, again, my opinion, you do not buy the Bitcoin ETF, you buy it physically. This Bitcoin ETF is for institutions. It's for the ones who have barriers to actually getting involved, those who want to get involved but cannot for some regulation or some requirement that the company has to go through, and they're not getting the approval. So for them who desperately want to get involved but are for some reason not being able to, this is for them. It's not for you the individual. It's not for me as an individual. It just doesn't make any sense, and here's why. So when you purchase Bitcoin and you actually make an entry on the blockchain, or whether you purchase it on the exchange and you leave it on the exchange, you're drying up the supply. You're literally locking away some of the Bitcoin, and that's squeezing the price up. So in that sense, it actually makes sense to rather actually buy it physically rather than actually going through an ETF, because all they're doing is predicting what the price is going to be in the future, and they're not physically touching Bitcoin at all. So why would you want to, as an individual who can buy the real stuff, go ahead and buy the Bitcoin ETF? It just doesn't make as an individual. So that's issue number one. Issue number two is that from a trust perspective, once you understand Bitcoin, and I know that it is a massive learning curve to get to the point that you feel comfortable that you can secure the keys yourself. It is a huge learning curve. I mean, even I myself, who've gone down the rabbit hole for 4 years, I'm still struggling to know everything that there is to know about Bitcoin. And every single day, there's a new amazing thing that I'm understanding and realizing about Bitcoin. But once you get to that point, you'll realize that it's far safer to rather actually to secure it yourself, to have self-custody. Once you figure out how to secure those keys, whether it's on a paper wallet, whether it's on a hardware wallet, or even if you actually want to leave it on an exchange, is not my ideal. But if you want to leave it on an exchange, that's far better because you have more access to it. If you wanted to self-custody it from the exchange, you can go ahead and do that. Whereas if you have an ETF, you're kind of limited to the ETF itself. So from that perspective, you're better off doing the self-custody. It's the trust layer, what you're trusting is the protocol itself. You're trusting the Bitcoin protocol. Whereas if you go ahead and purchase the ETF, not only are you trusting the Bitcoin protocol, but you now also have to trust the ETF, the company, and the stock exchange, and that the SEC is doing the right thing and regulating it correctly. There's so much more trust involved in buying the Bitcoin ETF rather than just physically buying it and securing it yourself. So again, from that perspective, it makes total more sense to rather buy it physically than to actually rather go ahead and buy the Bitcoin ETF. The other aspect of it is why I would actually encourage individuals away from the Bitcoin ETF is because of manipulation. So when you think about, when you purchase physical Bitcoin, you buy it on the exchange and you withdraw it yourself, or even if you leave it on the exchange, what you're doing is you're drying up the supply. So you're holding on to it and you're saying, I'm not going to sell these. And so there's less in circulation, and therefore there's more people are fighting over fewer Bitcoins, right? So again, the price is being pushed up. Now, the issue with the Bitcoin, especially a cash settled or futures ETF, is that this actually kind of allows for manipulation. Now, it's not to say that this ETF is a bad thing. It just doesn't come as a full package good thing. And hear me out. So a cash settled Bitcoin ETF, the reason why I say that this allows for manipulation, if you think about it, so once it goes into action, this allows institutions, especially huge institutions with lots of deep pockets, it allows them to go ahead and go to exchanges, forget the Bitcoin ETF right now, go to the exchanges, purchase up a ton of Bitcoin, so they can do it in a way that they're not actually pushing up the price, but they're getting a significant amount, right? So they gather up a huge amount, right? And then they go ahead to the Bitcoin ETF, and they place a bet, and they say, you know what, I believe that the price is going to come down. But they've dried up the supply, right? So the price has gone up, right? And then they go to the Bitcoin ETF, and they say, I believe that the price is going to go down by, 1 month from now, or next week, or whenever it is. And they place a bet, and so they've put a low price on their futures price, and then they go ahead on the physical side and they go and dump it, and they just sell the whole thing in one go, and that pushes the price down. And so on the ETF side, it looks like they won. In fact, they did win. They manipulated it. They got hold of you. So if you're on the Bitcoin ETF side, you are in a way kind of encouraging it. I would recommend staying, especially as an individual, to stay away from it. It just allows for a lot more manipulation. It's not the real stuff, so you might as well go ahead and just take a deep dive. I'm not saying just because I took 4 years, it doesn't mean that you have to take 4 years. In fact, I could give you a video today or tomorrow, whenever I have time to create it, show you exactly how you can go ahead and actually get hold of Bitcoin and secure it yourself. I just wanted, for my own satisfaction, to understand the mathematics behind it, so that for my own satisfaction, as to know that it was actually safe. But I can actually give you a description very easily that you can go ahead and secure it yourself, and it will be secure. It will be 100% secure. And again, when I say 100%, it's actually 99.99999%, and that's because of the mathematics of it. But that's for another video. But nothing is 100% secure. Nothing. So Bitcoin is the most secure asset that humanity has ever come across. And so when it comes to owning a Bitcoin yourself, or having the ETF, in my opinion, it is far better to own the Bitcoin yourself. There's just no beating around it. Now, I can understand why you would think that you would want to go ahead and buy the ETF. It just, because it seems a little more secure, it seems a little more regulated. But again, all that is on top of the trust of the Bitcoin protocol. So you might be tempted to say to yourself, I'm too scared of touching Bitcoin. My phone could get hacked, or my hardware wallet can get hacked, or the exchange could go down. And so I don't want to touch the physical stuff. I'm going to rather go for the ETF. Because it just seems more legit. It seems more regulated, so it should be more secure. But that actually is not necessarily true, because of all the extra layers of trust involved on the ETF itself. So again, if it were up to me, I wouldn't even actually touch the ETF. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't. again, do your own research, and if it is something that you feel confidence in, and if you have any arguments against me, please, by all means, drop it in the comments below. We can hash it out. This is not about getting angry with each other. I hate this whole concept of Bitcoin maximalism. To me, it's about financial inclusion. That's really what it's about. And so if you have an opinion that is different from mine, it would be best to actually rather talk about it rather than get angry about it. Like, I just don't see a point at all. And if we never settle on a particular point, that's fine, that's okay. The beauty about this financial world is that you have the ability to vote with your wallet. You can take your money and you can put it where you think it's the most secure, where it will get you the most reward. That is the beauty about this. And if you disagree with me, go ahead and make your bets. That's okay. I wish you all the best. And if you're right, I want to know about it. I desperately want to know about it because I want to be on the right side. So it definitely makes sense to not get angry about it. Bring your opinions forward. Let's hash it out. Let's discuss it. Let's get to the bottom of it together. That's the whole purpose of decentralized life. We're doing this together. We've got to decentralize the opinions, the solutions, just everything. It's not just finances. It's everything. I'm in this beautiful forest right now, and I look at all the trees and I look at all the all the animals, and even the weeds, even the creepers. Absolutely everything is, in a sense, decentralized. It's very difficult to stomp it out. I mean, okay, again, there's a whole climate change debate, and that's a different argument. But I'm talking about, like, as an individual, for me to go ahead and try, like, wipe out the species of a particular tree, it's almost impossible because life decentralized. If you wipe it out here, it's going to pop up over there, or it already exists over there, and so it's very difficult to stomp it out. So this is what I find beautiful about the idea, the concepts of decentralization. And so when you have a different opinion to me, that's in a sense a decentralized opinion. If I am wrong, you will succeed. And that is great. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for life. If we all put our eggs in one basket, then we better hope that we're all collectively correct. So the way I look at it, make your decision, take what I'm saying, formulate your own opinion, and run with it. Have fundamental belief in what you're saying. Take what I'm saying and add it to your equation. If there's anything new that I said, if there's nothing new that I said that didn't make you think brought any value, then great. Then click off this video and be on with your way. And no offense taken at all. But if you feel that what I've said has brought any value, then definitely add it to your formula. You obviously know things that I don't know. I don't know absolutely everything at all. Add it into your formula. Re-spit out a new answer, and you'll have your where you should be placing your bet. So I hope that this video helps. If you like it, hit the like button, subscribe, do all that. I'm doing this for fun. I'm doing this for kind of like a community effort, and we're just going to see where this goes. So anyway, so until the next video, peace out.